Today's lecture is devoted for selecting the literary texts for English language teaching is devoted to three more basic skills, that is speaking and listening. So we will come to know, suppose we want our students to listen or speak, what kind of things can be done. So you can do some activities for example, if we make them speak, suppose we want to teach them speak, that this is the way, what activities can be done. Then reading can be done, right? You ask the students to read in the class, or you can also ask the students to make a group and make a dramatic presentation, or you can make a improvisation. Just give them situations and don't give them dialogues. Let them decide what dialogues they want to speak on a particular situation. Or you can make them to use role play, like that. Many activities can be done so that student will come to know how to speak and how to read also. Here some of the things one by one I discuss. First of the thing is oral reading. Make the students to read, make them to present, because that way when the students read, they will also speak. Two activities will go simultaneously. While they read, you will come to know whether they have understood the sentence, the meaning, whether they have taken into grasp particular phrases. So that is how interesting thing will take place. As the students will continue to read, he will also involve himself. He will come to know, because he is reading, what is the upper level meaning, what is the deeper level meaning. And that is how any literary work, when the student is reading aloud, he begins to involve and understand. And then you can ask them, the students, to read other things where listening abilities may also come into hand, uh, as well as how they have pronounced particular words or sentences, making the meaningful units. That is how make students to read, and many purposes would be served at one way. When a student read, two things will take place. Number one, he first of all tries to read according to his understanding. So reading is a developing, but when he is reading, his mental level of understanding the text, that will also come into play. That will also our purpose, that he gets the knowledge. So reading is done, comprehension of a text is also done, and another thing, speaking, because when he is reading, actually he is speaking. So he is a speech, he is a style, he is a way of presentation would be put before the student, and he will also come to know how he is good or bad at reading and speaking. While one student is reading, for others another activity is done, and that is listening. So reading, that is a speech, speaking and listening, two things are going on simultaneously. Now question is this: how to select one particular thing or particular piece or particular poem for reading, because that is giving one student power to speak. You can select, number one, any drama. Drama is a good thing. You can select small drama or a big drama. It depends what kind of level of students. I mean, first year students, second year students, PG students, or primary students. Suppose you are teaching to primary school students and English, and you want them to understand how language works. You want to teach them English speaking, you want to them listening skills, then small piece of drama, one act play can be selected. Suppose they are the students at the undergraduate level, then you can select full length play, and that is how, according to level of the students, according to the purpose, select any drama. And drama is a valuable document for both ESL and EFL. Dramatic activities you can do. You can select any drama as I told you. So that is the second thing. Third thing, dramatization. Reading drama is one thing, but performance of drama is another thing. While one reads a drama, just it's a matter of reading dialogues. No doubt, the way students read the drama, then it depends upon his comprehension abilities. Sometimes, as if he is reading to himself, he would do it. Sometimes he would come to know that my activity is meant for the class. That way he reads. But that sort of understanding you cannot expect from all sorts of students, not even from UG level, provided that the students have taken interest in the dramatic activities, they know what is the performance, they see the drama. But in our condition, we have often seen that we are very much, you can say, sad to dramatic activities that are taking place around us. Neither we see the drama nor we know the condition of the drama. Especially, this thing is absolutely right in Gujarati drama. Being Gujarati also, we don't know what are the Gujarati producers, who are the Gujarati directors, what sort of Gujarati plays have been acted, uh, what sort of themes of the play, how these Gujarati plays are there. Hence, the students will remain uh, away from a trend, and that is a great disappointment. At least forget about the language, but we need to know the form. We need to understand the literary text. And if we have seen, I mean to say, we as teachers have seen some dramas, then at least for you it will be very easy to teach them drama. At least you can understand that drama gives forms to certain activities, certain skills, and then you can come to the matter of English language. Then uh, dramas can be available in any language. Our purpose of English language, then lot of small pieces are available, one act plays and two act plays, three act plays, and older dramas also. But drama remains very vital. And here I am talking about third activity. First activity is oral reading, second activity is a drama, that is a drama reading. Simultaneously listening skill is also going on, and third activity is dramatization. It is a matter of performance. Student can make up their scripts, that way they will write. You ask them that you write down the scripts, who are the characters, who will play the role, how much you will have to speak, or you can also, it's not only the dramatization of drama, you can also utilize short stories, novels, or any adaptation. If you select short story, wonderful things will take place. Ask the student that how can you transform this short story into drama. Then lot of activities will take place. Look, they will have to read the play, so comprehension will take place. And when they read, reading skill, reading to themselves, then they will also try to read aloud. Then writing skill will come into uh, action. Then third thing, that they will speak the dramas, dialogues. So that is how one activity leads to another sub activity. So adaptation can be also done from, you can also ask them to select only one character and make them to present it before the student or the audience. Uh, for example, if there are UG level students and you are teaching dramas, then pick up any drama. Uh, Say you have selected Hamlet by Shakespeare. You want to teach them basic skills, reading, writing, speaking, listening. So out of the complete play, full play, tell them that you just focus on one character, Hamlet. Ask the student that suppose you are Hamlet, how will you come before the audience? How will you say that whatever you have done is correct, okay, or what is your problem? So here, keeping in mind only character sketch of Hamlet, the students will write, they will read, and they will try to convince the audience. The audience will listen to. So that is how many things will come, keeping in mind one character, and that is ask them to present it. First of all, they will write it, then they will remember the dialogue, and then they will speaking English, right? Listening English and writing English. That is how the students will learn. Such experiments have been done by me also in the class, and you can also in future do. And that is how uh, on one side they are learning, on the other side they are also developing new skills, uh, soft skills. They will learn how to read, they will learn how to present. Sometimes tension would be there because there will be audience. They will uh, try to conquer the tensions, difficulties, challenges. Moreover, they will also develop confidence. So that is a duty of a teacher. So dramatization can be done, and while they do this, many other things will also come into play, and that is related to grammatical items. They would select one phrase, they would select certain words, they would add something, they would omit something. Vocabulary and grammatical items, presentation of tenses, moods, I mean auxiliary verbs, many things they, the students will understand. Deeper understanding will be developed by themselves into the language. They would pay attention to each word written in the drama, because one word written by one author may not be suitable to the student who is writing. He would think that this is not the word I want, because I have to present, I have to speak, and he would select according to his choice, his attitude, his background. So changing of the text, and that will give him deeper understanding of the work, his own knowledge about the grammar as well. So grammatical activities are also going on. Moreover, he would also rehearse, and that way he will pay attention to speech, and that way also he thinks about the audience. My people, my audience should be able to comprehend when I speak a dialogue. It must be very clear. So speech also plays vital role. Clarity of the tone, clarity of the voice, clarity of the spoken words, clarity of the speed, because if certain things are spoken very speedily in drama, things may not be clear, or sometimes according to the mood you have to speak. So these are the finer things the students understand. And moreover, they will also understand other aspects, and that is non-verbal communication. Remember in the class, because of uh, you are a teacher, everything need not to be told. There are many things you convey through your body language. So when a student is preparing dramatization, he would pay attention to uh, gestures, postures, and that way, gestures means your movement of the body, the way you want to make a presentation. According to your mood, according to the feeling, you always present it. So body language, gesture. When you say the sky is up, then your hand goes up. That is gesture. Another thing is posture. When you say something, you need to stop. That is posture. And many a times, uh, just as posing at one place, you don't speak many things, but the things which you have not spoken would be understood by the other. So posture conveys this. Sometimes uh, you make the gesture that the world is, and then you don't speak. The world is, because you made a gesture. You showed that it is round. So the audience will understand. These are the things. These are the skills you can teach the student through dramatization. Another thing, and that is improvisation, or you can say role playing. This is the fourth thing we want to teach the students for reading and speaking and listening. So in improvisation, you can select one situation and give the student free choice that whatever way you want to present. Means script is not written in improvisation, remember. Dialogue is not written. Um, Anyone can take anyone's character. He knows only the condition, situation, that this is the thing. According to his choice, he would speak. So that is improvisation. Improvisation is a very good thing. Uh, it may be very useful at the initial stage. You teach the story, play, or a chapter of a novel, and then ask the student that make the presentation. Come over here, because they have now understood it, they have learned it, and tell them that you present it. So the student doesn't know that what dialogue he would speak, but as things go on, they would continue to, because they know the story. And that is how dialogues are taking place. A dramatic performance is coming into practice. So it's a very good thing. Improvisation can, or role playing. And the teacher will decide that this particular student will play the role of this and this character, another student will play role of that and that particular character. So in advance, the roles are given to the student, and in the class you ask the student that uh, come now, you remember your role and perform it, and students will perform it. While they are performing, things will become very much integrated, focused in the mind, and that is how they would speak, right? And others would listen, and to speak they have already read. So that is how reading skills, oral, we are talking about oral presentation, how this will come. And basic thing to teach English is to speak English. So make them to talk. These things should be done. So improvisation and role playing play very useful role. And the last activity for the students to go, and that is a group discussion. It is useful in not only speech but to develop the ideas also. It is a skill which requires understanding, uh, expressing the views, or maintaining the disciplines. Even leadership qualities can also be developed by group discussion. Students will be given particular passage or particular argument, and make groups favoring one and another is against it. The students who know the facts and figures will discuss the issue, and that is how they develop the skill to speak. So, multi-skilled task it would take place, and that is how group activities in the classroom will deal with language. Language that is taking place in interaction, and you can have small groups, uh, or you can have larger groups also. Debates will take into consideration, and that is how things will take place. uh, while you wish to discuss, groups may be small or big, that is one thing, favoring or against it. Or you can ask the student that one student will come and will present his view, debating the matter. So one student will get the chance at a time, others will listen. This can be done only in a small group. Suppose it is a big group and only one student speaking, others will lose interest. But a teacher must have ways that I wish my student to speak, and uh, group discussion is one tool. That tool can be used according to your plan, according to the audience, according to the need of the students, that whether small group, big group, debate is okay. And that is how the abilities for uh, group discussion, and that way developing the students in multi-level tasking can be done. Through group discussion, the student always learn how to speak, and his peer, because there are the students all are his friends, and there is a freedom, there is a liberty to speak, because nothing is pre-planned that this is the dialogue I have to speak, or this is the thing. Whatever thoughts he has collected, he would deliver. So language that is written and the language that is spoken, both would be different. He would realize the difference, that this is how in realistic situation, in practical situation, we can speak the language. Literary language, that is one another thing, but the language in day-to-day life, that is different. One is formal and the another is informal. Such kind of distinctions a student will understand, and that is a great thing when a student learns this. So that is how our question, how to select literary text for ELT, for reading, writing, speaking and listening, for basic skills, can be dealt with.